What's up? Hello, hello, hello. It's about that time, right? It's about that time. We're coming towards the end of the month of May. And what can I say? What can I say? It's just the mindset. So much is going on in the world. Unfortunately, what's happened over there in Texas, I mean, we are just being hit left and right. So I figured on today, let's just tap into how we can encourage one another and how can we truly think about our minds and how our adrenals and our cortisol levels, all this is being impacted because it's about time that we recognize that we have to take control of our health. We have to take control of the thought life and we have to take control of how we are doing because it's a bit much right now. Let's just be honest with one another. It's a bit much. Many prayers to the families out in Texas because this is real. And now many of us are, we're on high alert when it comes to our children, especially. And then we think about the churches and the supermarkets and all these other places out there. It's real what's going on right now. It's real, and it's really impacting us. So I figured, let's tap into today on our mindset and really talk about how our adrenals are being impacted because whether or not you recognize it, it's real. It's so real in the fact that you may not think how your sleep is impacted, how your mood is impacted, how your overall the way you look at things, how your children are impacted. So I want to encourage us on today to be aware of the way our body gets impacted by the external factors. Okay. So on today, we are going to have a good time going through a few things, and mindset mastery and how it impacts your adrenals is what we're going to talk about. What's up? Welcome to the party. Welcome to the conversation. I'm Dr. Tamika, and yes, it's about mindset mastery today and looking into our adrenal glands and seeing how they are impacted. So one of the things you need to understand is that stress is real. The adrenal glands, which are right above your kidneys, release something called cortisol hormone. And the adrenals the adrenals release cortisol and DHEA. And these two hormones help us deal with stress. And if you haven't had to deal with any stress or you've been in a Zen state of mind, kudos to you. Help the rest of us. But for the rest of us who need a little bit more of an impact, a little bit more education, I'm here to help you today. One of the other things we talk about is adrenaline. This is also something that's secreted and gives you an immediate boost of energy. You go on a roller coaster ride and woo, you go up and you come back down. That's the adrenaline. But that right there, that adrenaline is short-lived, right? It's short. Cortisol hormone can really be over periods of time where it can wreak havoc on your health. With that being said, if stress becomes chronic, the adrenals can no longer keep up with the demand, and the DHEA level starts to fall out. So we start to have something called adrenal exhaustion. Today I spoke with two different clients. I've seen 3 clients this morning, and 2 of the 3 were like, I'm just tired. And I'm like, what's going on? One of them, they had just had a big wedding in their family. Another one, they're working out. They're doing all these different things and they're just not sleeping. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? If you're not sleeping, that impacts your stress, right? That impacts your body. So you get more and more levels impacted in your health. So your DHEA is your hormone of youth, and it helps with energy, immune function, mood. It helps with memory, muscles, and bone strength. Your overall secretion of adrenaline leads to anxiety and nervousness. So if you're feeling a little nervous at times, I'm wondering about your adrenaline level. Now, stress in the adrenal glands, chronic stress can cause problems where that can lead to high cortisol levels, right? Which causes your immune system not to function the best. You have less restful sleep. You have water retention. You're trying to lose weight and you're holding on to water. Lowered insulin sensitivity, meaning that you have a higher susceptibility to diabetes. And then it can also be associated with increased lipid level, which in essence is elevated cholesterol. So when we think about this, you can also think about other things: poor memory, brain fog, allergies, and autoimmune disorders. Any of you having issues with your allergies or noticing that you're constantly getting sick could be related to your high cortisol levels. Increased problems with infertility, not being able to get pregnant, muscle and joint pain. All these things come into play when you have high cortisol levels. So basically, we don't have a balance. So what we need to do is start to recover from this chronic stress. Now, one of the things we can do is start with something simple. And I'm putting this out there because I literally told 2 of my clients today, okay, I need you to do some things for you. And sometimes that becomes a little bit more challenging, right? And it's like, well, I have all these other things going on in life. What can I do for me? Self-care is essential. Now, getting your hair done, getting your nails done, that's self-maintenance. But I want you to really get deep down into helping yourself. So being compassionate and kind to yourself, thinking about eating foods that really help you be the best you can possibly be, right? Are you eating whole foods? Are you eating fresh foods? What are you putting in your body to help you be the best person you can be? Water. How much water are you drinking? Right now, I'm a little behind. Let me just be transparent. I've been running. I was recently at a conference this past weekend. Shout out to Think Media. And I was at this conference, and it really talked about how many of you who come onto social media, you really want the information to help you be the best form of you. And we have to deliver it in bite sizes. So I need to do a better job of that. And with taking all this information, and I've just slowed down on my water. I was just so engaged in this. But what I'm going to do is what I'm going to encourage each and one of you to do is to practice grace and gratitude. Give yourself a little G&G. You may not get it right always at the beginning, but as you work on you, you start to take baby steps towards being the best form of you. And then I also realized as I went through, I did a conference. I was at this conference, Think Media, on Monday and Tuesday. And on Saturday, I did the Women's Health Expo for KJLH. And at that expo, I learned so many things from the people who were present, those who came to my booth, those who came and heard me speak. And one of the things I've learned is that the way people are looking for information to be consumed, they want bite size, right? So what are some of the things you do to help you to alleviate some of this chronic stress? What are some of the things you do? Type in the comments to help you pursue joy. What do you enjoy? Do you enjoy singing, dancing? I enjoy roller skating. What do you enjoy? Because when you do things that you enjoy and be intentional about doing those things, that helps you to recover from chronic stress. I know you're not thinking it that way, but as a physician, I'm telling you, when you start to pursue joy and pursue things, how about this? When you start to choose you and put you first, you'll start to be in a situation where you can start to alleviate some of this chronic stress. Now, granted, stress is not going away. It's there. But one of the things I want you to do is I want you to start to think about how can you handle this stress? First of all, identify it, right? Take some time to sit down and write down what are some of your sources of stress? Is it your job? Is it your children? Is it your partner? Quiet time. Yes, needing quiet time is so very important. Your finances. What are some of your stressors? And then examine what's your daily routine like. Do you take some time out for yourself and have some quiet time? Now, what I'll do after this is I'll go and take my dog, Risen, and we'll walk around the house just to calm down so I can go into my next meeting, right? So what are you doing to really alleviate some of this stress? You have to figure out any area of your life that you can do to improve to alleviate that stress. So your quiet time, Rhonda.ROQ, you're right on time. Your sleep habits. Next, I want you to eliminate. Are there certain stressors from your list that made you identify a section that can be eliminated from your life? Is there certain people you may need to decrease your interaction with them? I'm not telling you to get divorced or get rid of your kids or go off on your boss or walk away from your job, but what can you do to sort of eliminate those stressors? And yes, music. Oh my gosh, let's talk about music. Music is so very powerful. Music can help you to just relax. It can put you into a zone of just relax. So just, okay, I'm gonna take a deep breath and just enjoy this song. Even when you listen to some of the words can remind you how powerful you are, how you're in control, and how your emotions don't rule you. I believe it's Mary J. Blige that has a new song out. It's called Hello, Gorgeous. Looking at yourself, say, hello, gorgeous. You got this. When you start to do these things, it starts to help you. Do you need to eliminate certain foods from your diet? Do you need to eliminate yourself from being in certain situations? One of the things I like to say is if you're someone, when you're at nighttime, let's probably not do bills. Maybe let's probably not go over, go over what's going on in the news right before going to bed, because you don't want to go to sleep in a highly stressed out, motivated, like ramped up situation, because that's not going to help you to repair and restore. The next way we can handle stress is to prioritize. Huge stressors for many people are overwhelming, right? So when you look at your life, is there certain ways you can say, I'm not going to deal with that today. It's just not a good day for that. It's not a good day for me to have this conversation with this individual. When you start to prioritize things in your life, then that may help you not to feel so trapped, and you can start to go through the issues. My client today was like, I don't know. I just soldier through. let's stop soldiering through. Let's take some time and just say, you know, on today, I'm going to attack these top two issues or these three issues. Or, you know what? I'm not going to attack any of that. I'm just going to focus on doing things I enjoy. When you choose you, you choose better health, mentally, physically, environmentally, socially. And then practice is the next one. What are you actively doing to decrease your stress? So those of you who wrote in here music, I see you in the comments. I see you quiet time. I see over here where you are journaling. Some of you, you're talking to your therapist. Whatever that is that helps you get a handle on your stress. Because if you don't get a handle of your stress, it'll get a handle on you. And what do I mean by that? Well, it can manifest in elevated blood sugar. It can manifest in headaches. It can manifest in upset stomachs, nausea, heartburn, bloating, constipation. All these things come into play, and we don't think about how what's going on externally and we're taking it on the inside, how it's impacting us. So as you start to practice ways to decrease your stress, you're actually working on improving your overall health. So yoga, breath work, meditation, nature walks. I recently was at the Arboretum here in California, and it's in, I believe that's Arcadia, and literally being outside, and they had this forest bathing where you're walking in nature and just looking at the flowers, the trees, the plants. You know, it's very calming. Whatever works for you, you do these things. If that's not your jam, then don't do that. Figure out what helps bring down your stress level, because if you don't, your stress will come after you. And it may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, it may not be next month, but eventually it's going to raise its ugly head in some shape, form, or fashion in your life. And then reframing your stress. You know, stress is very subjective, right? You know, if we think about this, well, this, what I'm going through right now, if you just stop and think about what are some of your bigger stressors, what's going on in your life, will that matter in 10 minutes? Well, will that matter in 10 hours? Will it matter in 10 days, 10 months, 10 years? And if so, if that's the case, then I want to encourage you to say, okay, this is not going to take control over where I'm at right now in my life. So you have the power, not the stress. And then we have to accept sometimes, right, that there's some things we just don't have any control over. And we have to accept them as they are. We need to accept certain people as they are, our certain situations as they are. We need to focus on today. Tomorrow's not promised to any of us. So when we think about our health, as you think about how this impacts you, you know, if you're someone who's walking around with elevated blood pressure, elevated blood sugar, concerned about your cholesterol, you're not sleeping, you're concerned about what's going on around you, I want you to be mindful of, I know this may not be like a tip that where you can say, okay, what do I do? Or this is not what I was expecting. But what I can encourage you on today is, as you start to accept certain situations and start to choose you and practice more grace and gratitude towards yourself, you'll start to learn to let go and start to move forward. You know, let's focus on you moving forward, right? Thanks for checking me on that. That Arboretum is in Arcadia. Thank you. And then sometimes, when in order to handle stress, we have to alter some things. We accept the situation and you may want to alter it, right? For example, sometimes you have to leave a toxic relationship. Sometimes that toxic relationship can cause stress on you and really lead to other health problems. Sometimes you may need to start to look for a different job. But as you start to move in the direction that chooses you, you choose you to be healthier, more uplifted, having more joy, having more peace. And we take these things for granted. We truly take these things for granted. So as we start to work on our health, one of the first things you need to do is start to think about and evaluate what are some of the stressors, and can you eliminate, can you decrease, can you alter the situation, or do you just have to accept some things? And if you do have to accept some things, then you accept some things and see how you can best pursue it. How can you change your approach to it? When we think about our health, when we think about health overall, we have to take things in the presence of, okay, what's going on mentally, what's going on emotionally, what's going on as it relates to the foods I'm drinking, what's going on with my sleep, what's going on with the foods I eat. All of these things come into play as you start to continue to choose you. And it's not being selfish. It's not. You have to choose you, because nobody is going to take care of your body better than you. You know your body better than anybody else. So on today, I hope that you start to choose you, because if you don't, clinically, as a physician, I'm going to tell you it can manifest problems with your heart, problems with your blood sugar, problems with your cholesterol, problems with your mentation, which can lead to challenges. Maybe it ends up with problems with your gut health. As your gut health is impacted, then you'll start to see it in your skin. So many different things. And I'm encouraging you, do something for you. Choose you. So on today, I am really going to do, I'm going to say right now that I'm going to start doing even more and more small little videos to help you, just specifically as it relates to health. Yes, we'll talk about stress. Yes, we'll talk about blood sugar. Yes, we'll talk about metabolism. Yes, we'll talk about hair. Yes, we'll talk about skin. But I have to do it in bite sizes, because when you do too long, the attention span is so quick. And I'll have a quick thing to say, come on and look at this. So I'm going to start doing more and more small little vignettes or little video clips, so that you'll know what I'm, so that can it attached to, basically you'll be attracted to, like, okay, this is what I'm working on. And I'm really going to encourage you, yes, to follow me here on Instagram, but I'm really going to start to do more and more on YouTube at Rock It with Dr. Tamika. So that's ROCK IT with Dr. Tamika. I'm going to do more and more over there. And I'll still have here on Instagram and Facebook, but I do see the need for me to do small little videos to help more and more people. As the more people I come into contact with, as I met individuals in Vegas this past weekend, as I met people at KGLH at the Women's Health Expo, as I'm meeting people, more new people in my practice, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. But now what I want you to do is continue to choose you. Not that you have to, but that you get to. What's up, Karen? As you choose you, you will see in your life, things will start to unfold. You'll start to see your health start to get better. I just had a patient right now, 58-year-old female, came in, was having some hormonal imbalance, weight was up, was having trouble sleeping, so forth. After speaking with her, she's been with me for some time. She's down 38 pounds, sleeping better. She has better control of, she knows what foods are impacting her health. She understands that when different things are going on, these are the supplements she needs to have on board. She definitely has a supplement plan that's specifically for her. But as I think about her health, I want to encourage you, if you're having challenges in your health, if you're recognizing you're not sleeping, if you're recognizing you're gaining weight in the midsection, if you're recognizing, I'm not as sharp as I used to be, I'm having brain fog, slow down. Your first step, your number one, your quick win for today, your quick win is to stop and say, okay, what's going on that I can control right now? What can I do right now? Is it take some deep breaths? Is it recognize, what, I'm not going to deal with all of this right now, and move it to the side? As you start to make that starts to be a quick win. And for my client today, one of the things she told me was that she was really stressed, and that she realized that she was having a plateau in her weight. And as we went back and evaluate what was going on, one of her kids recently just got married, so she was really caught up in that. And then people came in from out of town, her eating got off. And so that's called life. But what we did was we stopped, evaluated what was going on in her life, and then started to come up with a game plan to help her get back on track. Right now, what you're doing is working to your health to get back on track. If you're already on track, then start to tweak various little areas. Maybe you need to tweak your sleep. Maybe you need to tweak your your screen time. Maybe you need to tweak some of the other things going on. Maybe you need to say no to a few things. As you work on your health, you will see changes. Not that you have to, but that you get to. So on today, I thank you for joining me. Check me out next week, 12:30 Pacific Standard Time. Definitely get ready to join. If you haven't already done so, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Rock It with Dr. Tamika, ROCKIT with Dr. Tamika, and you'll see more and more material that I'm going to be putting out in small little videos, just small little ones, to help you be the best form of you that you possibly can be. On today, I say thank you. Until next week, 12:30 Pacific Standard Time, be the best you can be. Not that you have to, but that you get to. Thank you on Instagram, woohoo, and over here on Facebook. And I'll see you soon on YouTube. Stay encouraged, stay uplifted. See you soon. Bye. Woo, I tell you, Facebook. We are doing so many things today that I'm just like, whoo, I can't keep up. I can't keep up with the pace. I'm doing my best. And dancing and dancing, working out, and long walks. Those are definitely powerful as it relates to your health. Don't stop. Encourage other people to do the same, because you just don't know. People forget how the simple things in your life help you decrease your stress. So as I said this past weekend, stress less, That's our goal. Stress less. Until next week, catch you later. Bye.